Hey everybody and welcome back. This should be episode number 10 of our Dark Souls Predatory Women playthrough. We're talking about the women that prey on men, what to look for, and how to avoid being a victim. So, when last we left off, we were just kind of running through the killing of the first flame, getting all of these upgrade materials for the future. What I'm going to do after this last run right here is probably head to Seat's boss room and farm those clams for a little while. The man-eater shells, I believe they're called. They have a fairly high drop rate. Today's drink of choice, which you'll hear in the background as I'm stirring, is something I haven't had in a long time, but I really do enjoy, and it has a lot of good health benefits, is honey cinnamon tea. The tea is just a base of black tea. I use the cheap Lipton tea bags. Nothing fancy. I should really get fancier with my black tea, but I don't. And then the cinnamon is like a special fancy Ceylon cinnamon. I think it's how it's pronounced. Supposedly that's better than just regular cheap cinnamon. And the honey is organic, raw, unfiltered. Just like my opinions. I'm kidding. My opinions are definitely not completely unfiltered. And I think, did I die? Because I had 0 souls, so maybe I died somewhere up in here. We can go grab them souls, or I lost all my souls. So, today's topic du jour, if we want to call it that, it's kind of a silly phrase, but it is the sugar daddy girl. So, what is this? This is a more common thing now, I believe. At least I think it's more common now than it used to be. Because of the age of the internet and applications, these dating apps. And when I say dating apps, I mean Bumble, Tinder, Plenty of Fish. I think there's a couple more that are fairly popular. There's like OkCupid, Match.com, a couple more like that. And the ones you really need to worry about are like what are commonly and mistakenly referred to as mail order brides. To my knowledge, that's pretty good. To my knowledge, there is no such thing as an actual mail order bride. You can't just order a woman, even if you take it not to mean that she gets delivered in the mail, but that, you know, you basically buy her online or over through a magazine article or whatever. No, those are just meetup sites, and the goal behind that is to get a woman from a typically poorer country or less enfranchised area. And then, of course, as a man, you pay a certain amount of money to bring her over to the U.S. with the understanding that you guys are going to have a romantic relationship and, of course, ideally get married or whatnot. And of all the ones I looked at, just because I was always curious, like, what is a mail-order bride concept? And I think I even watched a documentary on it a long, long time ago. I think this was back before Netflix existed. Because I knew a couple guys that had done this. I think they got their women from the Philippines, which I believe is actually one of the most popular. It used to get a lot from like the Ukraine and Russia, although I don't believe that's as common anymore. But there was always the understanding that you're going to pay to have them come over, but you're actually paying for a service, and they are technically not they're technically not sugar daddy girls necessarily. Depends on how you look at it. They're not in the sense that what you're paying for is the service to bring them to the U.S. It's not necessarily that they're demanding the money. They just got on this service where there's a fee charged for you to meet them and then bring them over. When I talk about the sugar daddy girl, what I mean is this is the girl that you meet who makes it abundantly clear the premise. Oh, there we go. The premise to you guys dating, spending time together, is an exchange of money or goods of some sort. Usually it comes in the way of, oh my gosh, did you see how close I came to dying? There we go. It usually comes in the way of pay my utility bill, or pay my car loan bill, or pay for X, Y, and Z, or, you know, oh, I really like jewelry, and I really, really like diamond necklaces, or I really like pearls, and I guess that's more something from my grandmother's age range, huh? Pearls. I remember my grandmother. Oh, to my grandmother, pearls were the thing. You know what I mean? I wish in the remake, Dark Souls Remastered, the remaster, they included an unlimited homeward bone kind of like they do in Dark Souls 2, and I believe Dark Souls 3 has one, right? Dark Souls 2 has the feather. I know that. Let's do one more run of that, get a bunch of souls, and then we'll also buy Twinkling Titanite. And actually, let's go get the bottomless box while I'm thinking about it. Where's the best place to go for that? I guess the Firelink Shrine, huh? I guess. I don't know. Sunlight Altar, maybe? I don't use this one too often. Unless you're in the Covenant, then you would use it more. The sugar daddy girl wants some form of money, goods, services, not services, sorry, goods, something paid for up front. And I can tell you, I've had experiences of talking to girls. I can remember one in particular. She was very attractive, and the pictures she had were, you know, they made me skeptical. The more glamorous a girl's photos, the more a girl's photos look like they're professionally done or that she just really knows how to pose, the more it starts to like, dang, is this girl for real? Like, she's like Instagram model quality. The more skeptical you should be, and the more cautious you should be about complimenting her or flirting. Now, if you tell a absolutely gorgeous, beautiful 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 girl, hey, you look beautiful, that's meaningless to them at this point. It really is. It's probably almost a turnoff because they hear it all the time. Guys are just falling over themselves trying to tell her how beautiful she is, because that works on women who either A, are not particularly beautiful, maybe there's something off about them, if they're actually overweight, whatnot, but maybe you think their face is beautiful. Maybe they have a slightly larger nose or something about their looks is off, but you're okay with that, or maybe you find it attractive because that's just kind of your thing. Telling those girls they're beautiful works. Telling a girl she's beautiful if she's really shy and withdrawn and hasn't gotten that attention, that can work. But telling an absolutely gorgeous woman, hey, you're beautiful, gosh, she's heard it 1,000 times. It's nothing to her. You'd probably get farther with that girl by kind of giving her a bit of the cold shoulder. Maybe, one thing I did with a girl that we ended up not actually going on a date because I found a better prospect than her. And she was hitting me up over the weekend, and I texted her and just let her know, hey, I'm dating this other girl. And at the time, I wasn't spinning plates in the rational male red pill sense. I wasn't 100% about, let me get with as many girls as possible. I wasn't quite to that level yet. Had I been at that point yet, then maybe I would have been more about unequivocally dating more. But I'd met a girl and dated her 2 times before this other girl wanted to seal the deal and go out. And I told her, hey, I've met this other woman, blah, blah, blah. She got really mad about it. And I think the reason is because this girl that I'm talking about, the one I ultimately didn't meet, you know what? Let's get do we already have the katana? I think we do, don't we? If we do, then we're not gonna kill this guy. See, this is why I need the bottomless box. I don't have the katana, do I? Yeah, because it would have been up there. Okay, so we're gonna get it. By the way, there is a way to buy the Uchi katana from Shiva of the East or whatever, but you gotta follow a kind of his short little storyline, if you want to call it that. So the one thing I did with this girl, because she was really attractive, she was this petite little Asian woman, actually Japanese woman, very young, much younger than me. Let me say this. I'm at an age now where the girl that I'm currently dating right now, my girlfriend, has a daughter that is the age of the girl that I was about to go on a date with. So yeah. But let me just say this. She was pretty close to half my age. But anyway, she was gorgeous. I mean, I was on her Facebook and, she had like pictures of her wearing a pretty cheeky bikini and all this stuff, and she knew it. It was clear from her social media. She knew that she was attractive. And so what I did not do was really play that up much. I talked to her about, I think I might have mentioned to her that she's attractive or something, but it came in the way. Let me see. What are we doing here? Okay, there we go. Parrying dagger. Dark silver tracer. We don't need 2 of them. Priscilla's dagger. Short sword. Long sword. Long sword. There's going to be a ton of these. Balder side sword. Barb straight sword. Crystal straight sword. Silver knight sword. That's a good weapon, by the way, the silver knight sword. A Stora straight sword is good if you want a faith build early on, because you can get it right away in the game. The claymore, I have to do another claymore playthrough at some point. We'll keep one of the black knight swords. I think for the moment, what I'm looking at doing is doing a black knight playthrough. Boy, I sure had a bunch of black knight great swords, huh? So the sugar daddy girl will want some money. Now, this girl I was talking about, that was a tangent. She wasn't a sugar daddy girl. She didn't expect any money. She just got mad that I ultimately turned her down. She ended up blocking me on everything, and you know, whatever. It happens, and that's okay. I understand that, you know, she got mad because of her youth and what she did and whatnot. The value she had was in her youthful beauty. That was her value. My value was much more in that I had a lot more money than her. I was better situated. I was a lot more mature, and I'm in good shape. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm not in amazing shape. I don't have like rock hard chiseled abs, because I'm just, my one thing is, and I've always said this about my workout program, I like to eat. I like to eat French fries. I like to eat potatoes, and I like to eat lots of carb sources like rice and whatnot, and these are not very friendly to having your abs show through. And if you ask most women, abs to them aren't terribly important. In fact, to some women, they look at abs as a sort of like, oh, he's trying too hard. He's a try hard. So just be aware that the abs don't always work for you. Like, some of them call them F boys, but you know what the F word is, F-U-C-K. They get the notion that this is a guy who's out there playing the field. And so, oh yeah, I can't get rid of something I currently have equipped. We'll keep the sniper crossbow on hand. Don't need those for now. I'm just moving everything in here so that I have a much cleaner thing to work with, and we'll only have what we regularly intend to use out here. I have the pyromancy flame, which we'll leave that there. We'll leave a talisman. We'll leave at least 1 skull lantern. Effigy shield, no, that's weird. Is the effigy shield the one that heals you? No, that's the Sanctus. Which Sanctus is an interesting shield, to say the least. Healing you is cool. You can put it on even if you're not using a shield. Let's say you just have a build where all you do is use one weapon in your right hand and your left hand is pretty much worthless. You don't really use a shield. Get the Sanctus and put it on your back and just two-hand your weapon. I often two-hand a weapon and put the Grass Crest shield on my back, such as the katana. I think I did that in my ninja playthrough. Just put the shield on my back and left it there, and always two-handed the katana. I'm not sure why I have the Crest shield at +5, but whatever. We're gonna leave that there. Black Knight shield, that's cool. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think I have the Black Knight halberd, do I? Yeah, I do not think I have the Black Knight halberd. So that's one Black Knight weapon I don't have. I have the other 3 Black Knight weapons. I have the Black Knight sword, the Black Knight great sword, the Black Knight great axe, but I don't think I have the Black Knight halberd. But that's fine, because we can get... Well, the halberd guy is the last one we fight. Dang. So yeah, you got to fight through all the others to get there. We don't, huh? That's crazy. Okay, well let's try to get that. But in the meantime, we're also going to warp to the Chamber of the Princess and go buy some Twinkling, and we're going to upgrade our weapons. I'm not worried too much about upgrading the armor. I might do that as I go through the Black Knight playthrough. Other thing about the sugar daddy girl, she may want the money disguised as gifts, helping her out. Her goal is money and material goods. She will be pretty upfront about it, but she doesn't want you to spell it out like that. We'll just jump. She doesn't want you saying, oh, you know, I'll give you $200 if you date me. That's crass. That's kind of vulgar. That makes her feel like a prostitute, which is essentially what she is. A sugar daddy girl is essentially a sort of slightly undercover call girl. This is the girl that you hit her up on Tinder, Bumble, Plenty of Fish, OkCupid, Match.com, whatever. And as you guys talk, she eventually gets your phone number. And a lot of guys are just they can't wait to give out their phone number. She won't give you her phone number necessarily, and if she does, it's a burner phone number. Trust me, these girls have a second phone, probably a little cheap flip phone or something, or a little cheap smartphone. Now they come real cheap, and that's not her main phone. You know, she has a main guy, by the way. It's not you, just so you know. You're a source of money. You're not a main guy. Oh, Crystal Ember. Okay. I forget that he uses the Crystal Ember. Let's buy Twinkling Titanite 6. Okay. I could do a giant playthrough, something I haven't done yet, and I have the giant halberd and the giant shield. That would be interesting. I mean, at this point, we're discussing a lot of heavy armor builds, aren't we? I've never done a Havel's playthrough because I really don't like the Dragon's Tooth. It looks big and cumbersome and unwieldy, and it feels kind of clumsy to use it. I don't like club weapons in this game. I really don't. Okay, so let's hit up the... Let's see. Firelink Shrine. Now, we could go to... What's that place called? The Hollows? Or the place before... Not the Hollows. The Great Hollows? The Tree Hollows? You know, the area that you get through the Blighttown Swamp. The Great Hollow. And then behind that being the lake. Something like... Can't remember. I'm forgetting what everything's called. Unlike a gold digger, the sugar daddy girl is not going to marry you. Okay? She's not interested in getting married. She's not going after half your estate. She's not going to try to get your pension and part of your house and all that stuff. She just wants some money, something paid up front for a few dates. Will she offer you intimacy, shall we say? Yeah, probably. Depends. She will seem to be interested in whatever you're interested in. She will jump at the chance to go on a date with you, even though you sense that she's above your level. And let me say one thing, guys. This will be in my Red Pill Basics playthrough, which is the next one. The next playthrough is going to be a playthrough I probably should have done first. It'll be... And this is all very organic. I've sort of just developed all of this over time organically without a ton of planning. The Red Pill Basics is going to have more planning. This video series had planning. You can tell because I have a topic specific for each episode. But the Red Pill Basics playthrough, I would like to have a title, or at least in the headline, information about what each episode's about, so it's more organized. And then put a little bit in the description of what we're going to talk about so you guys can go back through them. And if you decide you want to go back through it and find out about a topic, it'll be easier to find. Like these playthroughs, you can't tell what episode is about what. All you know is the headline, the title for the entire series. Predatory Women. I don't put in each playthrough episode what specific predatory woman I'm talking about. Now, the titles will get a bit long, but I think it's in the best interest of my viewers that they know what each and every episode covers in my upcoming Basics of the Red Pill series. What am I going to call it? I'm debating a couple different things. There are some really cool sounding things I can call it. I'm leaning towards calling it something that's as short as possible. Because although it would be nice to have it sound cool, like Basics of the Red Pill. Basics of the Red Pill sounds better than Red Pill Basics, but it's longer. So I may have to just shorten it as much as possible. Foundations of the Red Pill sounds great. Red Pill Foundations? Maybe. I could use an acronym in the headline, but then people that aren't familiar with it wouldn't know what it was. RPB, Red Pill Basics, but then no one would know what that was without actually clicking on it or following through with it. So there's pros and cons to everything. I don't want the head or the title of the video just becoming too ridiculously unwieldy and long, but we'll see what I do with that. Don't fall off. All right, there we go. Getting all these weapons, and actually, you know what? Let's do this. Covetous Gold Serpent Ring. And I also should get the Silver Serpent Ring just for the heck of it. I'll have to look up how to do all the jump downs for it. You have to fall down to a certain platform. It's hard to find because the Tomb of the Giants is just so dark, and there's shit shooting at you. It's hard to get to, making it feel a little uncomfortable. Oh, my parry didn't work. $5.94. Let's see what happens if I don't switch to two-hand again on these guys. $5.94. $5.92. Well, that ain't worth it. 2 points. 2 points. 2 points of damage for switching it up. Jeez, I think I've gotten every single weapon so far. Watch this be the only flippin' weapon I don't get, the one that I actually want. Oh, I'm trying to parry and I'm two-handed. Let's try that again. What? $5.94. Get that extra 2 points of damage. Gotta get that extra 2 points of damage. Oh, shoot. That didn't work out the way I planned. But you know what? I salvaged it in the end. Mixing up that honey cinnamon tea. No. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. Black Knight Halberd. That's it, folks. That's it. There we go. Okay. Hold on now. I know there's a Faith spell, Homeward Bound or whatever, that sends you back, but I mean, that is essentially an unlimited, because all you need is one casting of it, you get sent back to the bonfire, and then it's restored. So, it's unlimited. But you have to have enough faith to be able to use it, and I'm not sure where you get it from. But if I do have enough faith to use it, then I could get it. The problem is, my faith is at 8, so I imagine I'd have to put points into faith, and to do it just for that, not really worth it in my opinion. So, let's access the bottomless box. And see what else we can move out of here, because we don't need duplicates like Black Knight Sword. We only need one of those. Black Knight Great Sword, we only need one of those. Same with the Black Knight Great Axe. Black Knight Great Ass. No, that's a little different. Black Knight Great Axe, there we go. And look at that Moonlight Butterfly Horn +5. Gargoyle's Halberd. You know, you could do a gargoyle playthrough and you'll have 2 different weapons, a shield and a helmet, but that's all. You don't really have an armor base. So some of these cosplay playthroughs are more interesting than others. Let's see. Only shield I have is the one I'm currently equipped with, right? Oh, I left a Sanctus on me. That's interesting. No. Not right now. Oh, I don't have any shields except the crest shield, but no. Black Knight shield, yes. Okay. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. I imagine I'm going to need more strength for one or more of these weapons. Nope. Nope. Okay, well, you know what? I've got enough strength to one-hand all of them. That's awesome. I can imagine that this is really where I'm going to be at. This really just seems like a great weapon, although the R2, not a fan of the long wind-up. The biggest problem with these weapons is, if you like the R2 move, or if you like to use R2s, the wind-ups, like, watch this. That wind-up is just crazy. Okay, and then we have the Black Knight Great Axe. Yeah, see, that just takes so long. Same with that. I mean, it looks cool, but it just takes too long. And the Black Knight Halberd is probably one of the easiest to use weapons, although that R2 is not too bad. I will tell you, it's not too bad. This one is okay, but I'm not a big fan of the multi-hit movesets on weapons. I'd rather just do one attack at a time, not... Like, for example, I'm not a fan of that gold tracer having a 3-hit combo move as its R2. Let's upgrade the halberd first. I have a feeling that will probably be the weapon I want to use the most. It's a pretty common weapon as far as what people like to use. I think I'll be able to max this one out. Nope. Close, but not quite. Alright, so let's go see if we can farm some of this stuff from the Duke's Archives, in this case, the Crystal Cave. So, the Sugar Daddy girl will try to be very playful about her approach to you. Unlike the Gold Digger, like I said, she's not interested in a long-term, let's get married, let me take all your shit kind of thing. I'm going to marry you, stay for a year or two, and then get divorced. The Sugar Daddy girl just wants some quick and easy money. Like I said, often in the form of getting bills paid, getting gifts, jewelry. Oh, shoot. I thought I was rolling, but I guess not. Okay, these guys are a little tougher than I thought, especially when you don't have a shield. Oh, man. Woo. And they hit pretty hard in New Game Plus. There we go. Nice try, buddy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yep, I knew it. Okay, there we go. A little more of a struggle than I was hoping for. Purging Stone. And... oh, Purging Stone. Come on now. Give me Twinkling, give me Twinkling. Come on! Seriously. Why's it gotta be like that? I just can't believe that I can go through a full stamina bar of attacks and it doesn't kill them. It's a lot of damage they can take in New Game Plus. But then again, they can't be bled out for obvious reasons. I don't think they have blood. Okay, there's one Twinkling. Be nice if they gave me two at a time. There's two. And then I think there's one more. I wonder if it'd be better just to run through, kill all... because I can get one Twinkling Titanite for every 2 Black Knights I kill. Because the Black Knights give me 4,000 souls and the Twinkling costs 8,000. So it'd probably be better to find like the best place to just farm souls and then buy them. Although I'm getting 2,000 for each of these, so for every 4 clams I kill, I can buy one. The good news is, the bonfire puts us right here, right on top of them. I can draw them out with the bow. Yeah, the Sugar Daddy girl's gonna want to get your attention. She'll be upfront about wanting something, but like I said, she'll do it in a playful manner. She might send you a text and have a little smiling, winky face going, hey, you know, I was having a little trouble this month paying my utility bills. Could you spot me? Or would you mind helping out a bit, sweetheart? Or blah, blah, blah. Or could you help a girl out? And a lot of guys know what that is and are okay with it. And I guess if you're okay with it, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I wouldn't be okay with that. I don't think there's any alpha way to pay a girl just to go on a date. Unless you look at it like going to a strip club or something. I mean, I don't think strip club... what in the world just happened? I did a plunge attack somehow. I see like going to a strip club the same as going to a casino. You set aside a certain amount of money that you're going to spend. You know you're wasting it. You know it's about the experience. Because with a casino, you don't want to leave yourself with this false impression like, oh, I'm going to the casino to make money. Gonna make some money at the casino. It's possible, but probably not gonna happen. Oh my, this is gonna be tricky. Woo. Okay. Got one down. 2 more to go. Oh. Okay, that's 2. Now we got it under control. Oh, man, he got me with that little quick attack. Hate that one. Oh, it's suddenly getting stingy on me. There we go. I got both things, even though I only wanted one. Just the twinkling, please. If you call her out for being a sugar daddy... Sorry, sugar daddy girl. She may not like it. She may get upset about it. She may accuse you of certain things. She may insinuate that, no, she just really is having trouble with her bills. I had a girl do this to me. I was talking to a girl. She was extremely beautiful, and I got distracted last time I started this conversation. Tangents. I'm all about those tangents, guys. So, she had Instagram quality pictures. Now, is this a real woman or not? I don't know. We set up for our first date, and what happens? I get... I was a little bit dumber back then than I am now, and because we seemed to really hit it off, and I thought I kind of figured her out pretty quickly. I was a little skeptical, but I thought, okay, you know, no big deal. We ended up exchanging phone numbers. And, you know, at the time I thought it's okay to give her mine because she's giving me hers, and I actually had her give me hers first. Thought I was being clever. Of course, that's her burner phone. You know what I mean? She probably changes those numbers every couple weeks after the money dries up from one guy to the next. And she sent me either Venmo or a Cash App or PayPal request for like $200 to meet up. This is a meetup for coffee. And, you know, I jokingly tell people nowadays, I'm like, if I'm paying $200, we better have a lot more than coffee. And no, of course, I'm not going to pay a girl for intimacy, we'll say. Sometimes I seem to care about not being too graphic in these videos, and other times I don't. So just take it for what it is. Oh, there we go. There we go. We can also go buy a few twinkling. So we're getting a little bit more of the twinkling than it actually looks like because we're saving up these souls to go purchase them. If I hit this guy, is it going to automatically track? Yeah, that's the problem. I don't know if they're linked together or if they're just so close. Uh-oh. I think he lost track. Oh, shoot. Oh, I got him right before he could get me. I think sidestepping them usually does a pretty good job of avoiding getting hit. Drop it, baby. Drop it for me. Drop it for me. Drop it for me. Nope. So, you know, I called her out on it. I didn't, you know, the solution to something like that when they send you that Cash App request is just, you know, metaphorically, literally, figuratively, however you need to do it, walk away. I should have just ignored it and been like, oh, that's done. That's over. But instead, I called her out on it. I got a little offended by it. And I was like, you know, you think I'm the kind of guy that's going to pay you just to go on a date? You know, I got this sense like I had to prove myself to this complete stranger that, honestly, if you really think about it, I can't even prove as a woman at this point. I'm assuming that was a woman, but you never know. This could have been a dude who found Instagram photos, is pretending to be a woman, Cash Apps you for your first date, and then never shows up. I mean, I'm sure that happens. That may have been what it was. But if it was a dude, he was really good at sounding like a woman in text. Emojis and all. I had some other scams too. Now, be aware that there are these aren't really sugar daddy girls so much as just scam artists. There was one that we tried to set up the date, and she looked okay. And if she wasn't, if that person wasn't really a woman, they're pretty smart. If you're gonna fake it, if you're gonna try to scam guys, don't get the 10 out of 10 Instagram model photos, because he's likely to either know the girl or find the girl, or do an image search. You can do image searches, guys. Screenshot it, download the image if you can download it. If not, screenshot it, cut the photo with an editing program on your phone to where you're only getting the photo in there and not like the edges of your screen or the operating system or the app around it. And then do a reverse image search online. And you could probably find a lot of these fake accounts, find where they got their photos from. Now, if they're smart, I'm not going to get into all the details. I don't want to tell you guys how to scam people, but I will say this. If I were going to scam men out of money on an online dating app, I would pick a girl who's a solid like 7 out of 10. Because if you pick the 9s or 10s, a lot of guys, red flags are going to go up. This guy is kind of fat, doesn't make a ton of money. There's nothing terribly special about him. He knows he doesn't look amazing. He's not in shape. And here's this 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 girl just really hot for him, can't wait to meet him, and then wants a little bit of money up front to meet him. Come on. Any guy who's not super desperate and lonely should be able to see right through that. But if you get on there and your profile is a solid like 7 out of 10, even a 6 out of 10, like he's thinking, you know what, this girl, she's not the most amazing girl. She doesn't look like the girls on Instagram, but this looks like a girl I could get with. That's a lot more believable, guys. That is a lot more believable. So, but you know, me, I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm not going to tell you what I think my number is on the S&B scale, the sexual marketplace value. You should have an idea of what your number is. And you should be within a point of what other people would say. Like, if you asked your friends, hey, on a 1 to 10, what do you think girls would rate me? And don't ask girlfriends, don't ask sisters, don't ask moms. They're not going to be honest with you, okay? You're not going to have an honest female acquaintance, friend, or family member who's going to look at you and honestly go, yeah, Joe, I'll be honest with you, man, you're like a 3 out of 10. You're pretty low. No, okay? They're going to exaggerate. They're going to give you a number 3, 4, 5 points higher, not times higher. Damn, that would be insane. They're probably going to tell you that you're like, I don't know, you're like an 8, and really you're a 4. Or yeah, I think you're a 9, and really you're a 6. So don't ask them. Get a sense of your own value. Look at who else is out there. If you need to, and this would be an interesting experiment to do, or just something for you to kind of see what's going on in the world. If you have a second phone or a way to do it, make a Tinder profile listing you as a woman seeking men, and see what kinds of men are out there and what they're saying. Plenty of Fish would probably be a great place to do that too, because you can say more on that app. Tinder is just like, here's 2 lines, here, like my favorite song, here's how old I am, here's what I do for a living, and here's a bunch of photos of me. I mean, it's really that, I just do not like the fact that you can't share much information about yourself. Golly, these guys are just right on top of me lately. That sounds bad given the topic of conversation, but anyway. Alright, there we go. Drop me that twinkling, baby. Yes, okay. And there's 2 more, right? Here we go. Here we go. So be aware of the scams that are out there. And one of them, I would say she was a 7. 7 out of 10. Pretty solid. This is the kind of girl that most men, even 9 and 10 guys, would be fine with. If you can't find another girl, yeah, she's great. No problem. I mean, no real significant complaints. You don't feel the need to hide the fact that you slept with her or had a date with her. Like, there's girls like you wouldn't want your friends knowing you're getting with because they're just not on your level. And then there's girls that you would brag about. But there's also the girls in between. It's like, you wouldn't brag about them. You wouldn't, like, be all showing them off like, hey, look at this trophy girlfriend. But you're like, yeah, you'd have no problem if guys knew about it. You wouldn't mind showing them some photos and telling them. And that was her. So, she gives me this story. And I picked up on it pretty quick. My job teaches me to see through a lot of crap. I can read through bullshit stories. And the first time she did it, I was like, I'm really skeptical, but I was still in a bit of a scarcity mindset, thinking that I needed to give every girl a chance. I needed to be almost kind of desperate to try to get those dates. Like, a lot of guys think that they need to lower their standards and just go for every single girl they can. It's like they cast their net very wide, try to get whoever they can, however they can. Let's go ahead and reinforce that Black Knight Halberd. Boom! Excuse me, and what's next? The Black Knight Great Axe? Yeah, let's do that. Why not? And then we have the Black Knight Greatsword and the Black Knight Sword. I don't want to do all the same thing in this playthrough, so let's warp back to the Firelink Shrine, run through and kill some of those Black Knight guys again. Change up a little bit. So she told me a story. She really wants to go on a date with me this Friday, but she has her cousin in town, and she needs someone to watch her cousin. She doesn't have any babysitters, but her roommate can watch her cousin. We just got to give her $150 to watch her cousin. And I'm thinking, bullshit. $150 to watch your cousin for one night? Come on. So, you know, I told her that's ridiculous, and she's like, yeah, that's what I told her. So she said, you know, she only needed $75. I'm like, still, $75 to watch a kid at your own place where you already live, where you're already going to be, for a couple hours? Ridiculous, right? Of course that's ridiculous. This story doesn't make any sense. So just out of pure curiosity, I told her no. I said, no, I'm not into that. Sorry, we'll have to reschedule. And I hit her up again later, and I think she was trying this scam on so many men, she didn't bother reading our previous conversation and tried it on me again. And I literally responded saying, you told me that last time. You got your cousin with you again, and your roommate is going to charge you again to watch her? And after that, she didn't respond. So I don't think she could. I don't think she could find an excuse to explain how she's trying the same scam on me for a second time in a row. You know, these scammers cast their net so wide that they're not necessarily paying attention. And if you don't have a ton of money, if they're only looking to get like 150, 275 bucks from you, they're not going to pay that much attention. So they're not even going to realize that they already tried scamming you. And they may try scamming you again. And there are, of course, a whole bunch of catfish accounts on those dating apps where it's men trying to trick you. It's women trying to get you to go to their cam girl website. It's a guy trying to trick you into clicking a link to go to some other website. Trying to get money from you for whatever reason, or trying to get you to buy a product that they sell. I even had one girl, and it was incredible. Oh, shoot. That I met in person. She came up with this excuse. She quickly said something like, oh, something came up with my son, I gotta go. And then just left. And I didn't believe it. I was like, all right. Just watch her get up and go. And then the next day, she sends me a text, basically, almost at the end of this tea here, asking me if I want to come work at her job, that they need somebody to work, and she tell me how much they pay, and it sounded like a good deal. But I said, look, I've already got a career. I'm not interested in changing careers. She's like, yeah, but if you came to work here, you'd work with me. And I said, aren't you the supervisor? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, I'd be working for you. You'd be my boss. And she stopped responding. So apparently she was using a dating application as a way of trying to recruit men for her workplace. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. And she tried it again later. Like, she texted me almost 2 or 3 weeks later saying, hey, we got this job. Are you interested? And we almost had the same conversation all over again. In hindsight, I would have just ignored it now. You know, second attempt to do the same thing. So if it's a scam, ignore it. Don't engage. Don't give them your text or your phone number. If you're picking up that this girl's a sugar daddy type girl, that's what she's looking for, my recommendation is do not give her anything, because it's not going to go anywhere. At best, what are you going to get? Temporary companionship, temporary fake companionship. She won't respect you. No woman respects a man that just pays her to go on a date. They just don't. Believe me. Woo. Let's see if I can there we go. It's a little less risky doing it that way. The White Titanite chunk. Alright, so we got one more here. Watch us get another halberd this time. Come on, buddy. Now that we don't need it. What else about the sugar daddy type girl? Oh, got him. Nice. Commonly asks you to pay for utility bill, rent, a cell phone, possibly even cosmetic surgery. I've heard about this one. May start dating you and then say something about how, you know, oh, she just feels like her boobs are too small or this or that. And she's like, you know, if I only had like this much, I went and they said I could get it if I had this much money, and I just feel like I'd look so much better. What do you think? And eventually she tries to coax the guy into basically offering to pay for her $8,000, $15,000 surgery. Now, for many of you, that's just totally out of your price range. you are unable to pay for a woman's breast augmentation surgery. But for men that can, after just a few dates, she's so totally into him. He's thinking like, yeah, this is gonna go somewhere. Like, she's gonna be my main permanent girl. And he's thinking like, oh man, I could take her from her current like 7 status. Maybe I could elevate her to like a 9 if we just got her a pair of double Ds or this or that. So it's possible. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if a guy would be willing to pay for a 5-digit surgery. We're talking like $15,000, $20,000 surgery, and then she'd bail on him. Another thing to look for, and this is something I hadn't thought of, but I just learned about this because this is a real thing, is there was a guy, and I know him personally. He met this girl. She was, like, to him, just everything. Incredible. Like a dream girl. Be very suspicious of dream girls. She was totally into him, thought the world of him. They were, you know, in bed almost every night together. Excuse me. She just seemed like she couldn't get enough of him. And he was a good-looking guy. Like, I mean, he's a reasonable good-looking guy, makes decent money. So she constantly tells him about how horrible her ex is, her baby daddy, so to speak, her child's father. Complains, and oh, if I just did this and that, and you know what, he's never gonna pay for child support, but he doesn't even care about his own child, and you know, my daughter, she needs a real father, a father that's gonna be there. So she convinced him to get married, and they got married after like just a couple months together. And then immediately after that, convinced him to adopt her daughter. Okay, you see where this is going? All of you guys that have been paying attention, you know where this is going. You can just sense it. She convinces him to adopt her daughter. And what do you think happens next? Oh, I'm out of souls. That's the issue. Okay. Let's do a quick run through here. Yep, just like you're thinking. Within a couple months of him adopting her daughter, I think right at the, 6 months of marriage, gets a divorce. And in the state they were in at that time, that was like considered the unofficial cutoff time where a woman could get something out of the spouse. I don't know if they do it anymore. This was a little while ago. But it was considered like if you were married for 6 months, that marriage had almost sort of like tenure. It was an established marriage, so to speak, vested. And she could start making claim to his retirement and any money and savings or whatever else. Now, had she divorced him before that? No. So this woman, and it does not matter how intentional it was. It doesn't matter if she did it subconsciously. It doesn't matter if she methodically planned it ahead of time. That's the level of evil in her. But the level at which, you know, the level of evil, the level of narcissistic personality disorders, the level of negative intent is really not relevant because he suffers the same. In terms of his suffering, it's really not relevant. You could tell him that she methodically planned it from start to finish, or that it just happened. She didn't really know she was going to do it, but, you know, it was just sort of this thing in her, and in the back of her mind, she kind of knew about it. Or she never planned it that way, it just worked out that way. It doesn't matter. The nature of women is always going to be something like that. Not all women will do that, but just because you bend over backwards to help her, to pay for her, to marry her, to try to take her kids from another man and raise them as your own, to treat them as your own, to love and care for them, love and care for her, it doesn't mean she owes you anything. In fact, she will take from you. After you bend over backwards to do everything you can for her, she will gladly take you for everything she can. And she took him for everything she could. He just paid a ridiculous amount in child support because she didn't even work. That was the other thing, too. Didn't even work. And was refusing to get a job and claimed she couldn't get a job because she's disabled. And they based child support on her not having a job at all. So he had to pay the full amount. And then, you know, she claimed some other things. She went after his retirement and got some of that and got some of his savings that he had before they even met, which I didn't think was right. That was his money before he even knew her. She ended up getting one of the cars that technically was his, but she convinced the judge, basically claimed like, that she had no form of transportation if she didn't get a car and she couldn't afford one, so the judge awarded her the car that was never hers. It wasn't ever in her name. It wasn't purchased during the marriage. It was just insane. And, you know, you think there's all these things that aren't supposed to happen, right? Yeah, they're not supposed to happen, but they... Oh, damn. This guy's merciless. But they do. These judges don't care, you know? These judges are just mainly out to help women, and they don't think that. These judges think that they're being fair and they're practicing equality. No, they're not. No, they're not. Not a chance. Damn, I need to, How fast is he chasing me? Too fast. Woo! Nice try, buddy. There we go. Finally got my groove back here. So there are so many horror stories, and almost all horror stories go one way. Man getting screwed, woman getting the benefits from it. Woman advantage, man disadvantage. And I'm telling you guys, like, some of you are probably thinking, man, who hurt you, Fox? You got burnt, Fox, but that's not how it normally works, so that's not the story for everyone. No. But when we're talking alimony, when we're talking child support, when we're talking primary custody, 85 to 97% of that goes one way. Over 90, I think it's over 90 some percent of child support goes from men to women. I think it's like over 95 or something, some ridiculous amount, 97% of alimony goes from men to women. And 87% or something like that of primary custody is women. And we're told that the system's fair. Yep, the system's fair, guys. Women get everything, but the system's fair. Women are the advantage in almost every single area all the time, or the vast, vast, vast majority of the time, but the system's fair. It's all about equality. Just women are more equal than men. Divorce court, family law is like Animal Farm. Everyone's considered equal. Women are just more equal than men. You know? So take that for what it's worth, you know? It is what it is. And for those of you that don't believe it, for those of you that are skeptical, I can tell you right now, all you got to do, guys, get married. Do your best to treat her the way the world says you should treat her. Watch it fall apart. And then when she files for divorce and you go through the ringer, you're going to come back to my channel and be like, damn, Fox, I had no idea how bad it was going to be. I listened to you and I just thought you were bitter and angry and you had been in a particularly bad situation. You're going to be like, I didn't realize it, man, until it happened to me. That's the story for most men. They have no idea how bad it's going to be until it happens to them, or how bad it can be. But once it happens to you, man, it changes you forever. You realize just how little the world cares about men. How basically judges, most lawyers, most let me see. Okay, have I upgraded? I thought I upgraded one of those. No, not yet. Most of the system, whether it's police, lawyers, prosecutors, judges, they don't give a shit about you. They really don't. They don't give a shit about men. You're on your own. They don't care if you are sleeping in your car homeless while she's in the house that you bought and you paid for, living it up with her convict boyfriend who just got out of prison. They don't care. They're still going to tell you, you better keep paying her. You better keep paying her that money. You better keep paying her. Well, Your Honor, I don't have a home. I have nowhere to live. I'm not eating. I haven't seen my kids in 3 years. Are you paying her money? There's an order that says you got to pay her money. Your Honor, I'm dying cold on the streets. We don't give a shit about that. Are you paying her your money? Seriously. Just watch it happen. Watch it happen, man. It is rough. I've seen so many horror stories. Mine was a fucking nightmare. And it wasn't as bad as other men's. I'm telling you guys, like, mine was just an absolute fucking 2-year nightmare. Okay? My divorce lasted longer than many people's marriages. Okay? There are people... the judge who presided over mine, she told me, because I told her I thought that 2 years was just ridiculous, and she's like, oh, that's nothing. She's just kind of laughing it up. And, you know, I'm thinking, like, You guys don't realize how horrible this is, how you're destroying families, how you're turning people bitter, both men and women. It's that adversarial system that makes everyone fucking hate each other and get at each other's throats and try to accuse the other of being a bad parent, accuse the other of abuse, accuse the other of neglect, accuse the other of being a horrible person. And you're going after each other, trying to get everything you can from the other person at any expense possible. And the kids get caught in the middle. And the kids end up having all sorts of mental health issues because of it. And she's laughing it up, talking, oh, I've got a divorce that's been going for 9 years. Yeah, that's not fucking funny. You know what I mean? That's not funny. There's nothing funny about a fucking nightmare divorce lasting 9 years. That's a horror story. That's family law torture. Let me tell you something. And those two people will probably never be the same. Ever. And the kids, God, the kids. One of them's probably going to kill themselves, you know what I mean? All right, guys, on that super positive note, don't do the sugar daddy thing. Don't be any girl's sugar daddy. Please don't. I can't tell you. I think it's a form of financial abuse. She's just using you. She's batting her pretty little eyes with her fake eyelashes, all her makeup on, just smiling and being that cute little feminine girl that you've always wanted and thought existed, and now you think this is her. And before you know it, you realize, damn, I just spent $7,000 on this chick, and she just disappears. Don't buy her car. Don't pay her bills. Don't pay her utility bill. Don't give her jewelry and all this other stuff. If that's what it's about for her, just move on. You can find someone else. Do not have that scarcity mindset, please, okay? Don't be desperate. You fall for scams when you're desperate, whether you're desperate for money, desperate for a job, or desperate for a girl. When you are desperate, that's when you get tricked. That's when you get conned, all right? So don't be desperate. Have an abundance mindset. If you're not meeting a lot of women right now, you know what? Take a hiatus. Work on yourself. Work on your finances. Work on your fitness. Work on your nutrition. Work on your, what's the other F? Fashion. Work on your fashion, your style. Get it all together, and before you know it, at one point, women will be talking to you. You're not going to be falling over backwards with women everywhere. Don't get me wrong. You're not going to be fighting them off with a stick. That's kind of a myth. No matter how good looking you are, unless you're filthy rich, you're not going to be fighting women off with a stick. But they'll be coming to you. So, anyway, I'm Fox with FoxeoGames. Hope you liked it. Like the video if you liked the video. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell icon. All that good stuff. Follow me on social media, Twitter. Above all else, links are in the description. And guys, make sure to maintain your frame. Don't fall for the little sugar daddy girl that wants you to pay her way or give her lots of good stuff. Buy yourself good stuff. Invest that money. Don't pay it to a girl. Later.